Good evening. I'm Allen Ginsberg, and I'm here tonight to be your host as we celebrate a wonderful event, as we celebrate Kinneret's annual 8 over 80 celebration, and we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. Tonight is probably our very first and hopefully last virtual celebration. It's virtual because all of us have been sitting home on our tuchusas. We haven't been able to go outside. We haven't been able to get together. So tonight we're doing this on a virtual basis. Maybe something new for all of you, but I hope you're going to enjoy it because I can promise you we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're also going to look back at the past year, at the accomplishments that Kinneret Council on Aging has made to help our wonderful, wonderful Jewish community citizens, our senior citizens living in Kinneret and elsewhere. So it's nice that you're with us tonight. A very nice thing, perhaps, if there is such a nice thing about the pandemic that we're in, is really nobody has had to go out. So tonight you can sit back, you can kick back. I don't care how you're dressed. You can be in your PJs. You can sit back, have a glass of wine, have a bite to eat with us, and enjoy yourself. Join me and all of our friends and neighbors as we sit back and celebrate 8 amazing people. The evening is about to start. Get ready. Here are the honorees for this year's 8 seniors over 80, making an impact in our community.
You've been nominated for 8 over 80.
Harvey Cobran.
Congratulations.
Roz Weinstein.
You've been honored for 8 over 80.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that? We're so happy.
Mark Katzen.
Yay! Congratulations!
Renee Roberts.
Congratulations!
Ruth Darvin.
Congratulations!
Barry Rubenstein. Susan Bierman.
We're so excited! Congratulations!
And Louis Feinberg.
Oh God, we're so happy to follow.
This is real.
Tonight we are here specifically to honor 8 very special people. 8 that are over 80 years old. 8 people that have spent a good portion of their time giving unselfishly back to the community. Tonight it is their night. But 50 years ago, Kinneret was born. The building was built. It's to provide outstanding housing for those senior citizens that need some financial assistance or that are of lower income. In the 80s, after Kinneret was born, came the Kinneret Council on Aging. It is a nonprofit organization whose primary function is to provide the much needed services and support for the residents that reside in Kinneret who could use and who need some extra help. And it's our pleasure with love that we all support this very important cause. We have built kind of a kahila, a community within Kinneret where everybody lives together and enjoys life together. The program and services that are provided by KCOA really form a neshama, a soul. They provide the soul of the building. So it's much more than bricks and mortar and a roof over people's head. It's truly an opportunity to enjoy their senior years with as much fun and excitement as possible. This is all possible because of the help that you who are watching tonight provide to the KCOA. And now, presenting our first group of honorees this evening. We're going to find out a little bit more about them. So without any further ado, let's give a welcome to Roz Weinstein and Barry Rubenstein.
My name is Rosalind Weinstein. I've been in this area of Florida since 1967. I was born in Clinton, Connecticut. I met Bernie in my very first class. He was a young man who was taking analytic geometry, and I could do the math, but I couldn't see all of the information visually, and he could, but he couldn't do the math, so that's how we got involved together, and that's why we eventually spent all 4 years at Penn State together. He graduated from the business school, and I graduated from the ag school. Bernie always wanted to have a firm of his own. He didn't want to work for someone. And so he started to answer ads all over the United States. And the one we answered was once in a lifetime partnership opportunity in Orlando, Florida. And that's how we got here. I have 3 children. We came to Orlando with one, and we always wanted to have more kids. And finally one day, Harry Ryan, who was our physician, said to him, why don't you just adopt? Stop giving me money for this. Go adopt. And we did. It's been a wild ride. It really has. I really loved the most golf. Unfortunately, I can't swing a club anymore to make it even fun anymore. The very first big committee that we worked on was the JCC. And when Jerry Bornstein took us on a little tour, and I looked, and there was just this little old wood house and lots of land in Maitland. And every day that I drive by it now, I'm amazed at how much it has grown and been a part of this community. I think the most important lesson that I've learned is that being part of some organization or the things that you like to do is important for your whole view of life. The key to happiness is to be helpful and truthful in everything that you try to do.
Good morning. I am Barry Rubenstein. Let you know that I was born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1939. I met my wife, Pat. Actually, I was at Temple when I was 19, and I saw a pretty girl across the aisle. And I didn't know her name, but I remembered her face. And I had an opportunity to get fixed up with somebody a year later, and it turned out to be, of all people, my wife, Pat. By the second date, we hit it off so well, that was pretty much it for life. We've been married 58 years. Any questions? I have 2 daughters and I have 4 grandchildren, and I love them all dearly. Well, my biggest hobby through the years has been golf. Unfortunately, I'm not the world's best golfer, but I still enjoy getting out anyway. I think too that the biggest thing is in my life has been having a happy and successful marriage. You know, I got lucky, and I don't know if I chose her or she chose me, but it's worked out, as I said, for 58 years. You know, it's like the old joke. You know, I would never divorce her, murder her sometimes, but never divorce her. But I think I think if you kiss her goodnight, then it's off to a good start the next day. I don't know if we always can control if we're happy or not happy, because some people have everything and they're unhappy, and some people you meet have really nothing, but it's extremely important. You know, is your cup half full or half empty? You know, you take life as it comes along. I would hope that people thought of me as being a good person who did the best he could. Well, I don't know. Don't take life too seriously. You never get out of it alive. I guess I don't know.
Truly extraordinary. What a wonderful commitment these folks have made to our community and to provide wonderful help to our seniors. You know, KCOA during COVID has been able to pivot their program to provide special and unusual services for our seniors and for our community in general. Let's hear a little bit more about what they are doing and what they've done in this past year.
I volunteer because I like helping people. Gives me a chance to give back to the community. The KCOA does so much for us, and you know, it's just my small part that I do to help out.
I like to volunteer because I like to be helpful. Also, it makes me feel good about myself.
I volunteer because I think it's good for me, and I think I help other people to better their lives.
KCOA is important to me because it does such good things for everybody here.
Well, I've lived here 10 years now, and I've seen lots of things that they've done for all of us.
I know as a resident myself, I appreciate everything that they do, and I know the other residents also appreciate everything that they do for us.
Giving back is important to all of us because it helps us to grow in friendship and love. You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Спасибо. Grazie.
Shukran. Toda. Дякую.
Thank you.
Wasn't that inspiring? These are the special folks that KCOA works so hard to support. And now I'd like to welcome to the stage two very special people. Carol Feuerman, who is the president of the Kinneret Council on Aging, and Sharon Weil, the executive director of the nonprofit KCOA.
On behalf of the Board of Directors of KCOA, I want to congratulate and thank all of our honorees for all that they do for our community.
We are here this evening to honor 8 outstanding individuals who chose to spend a good part of their lives giving back to their community. Now it is our turn to give back in their honor.
The board and staff of KCOA count on your generous donations to provide the social, emotional, spiritual, and wellness programs that enable over 300 residents of Kinneret to thrive. During this pandemic, when our seniors are feeling more isolated than ever, now is the time for you to dig deep and give from the heart.
Consider a gift of $1,000, which allows us to provide 175 residents with groceries from the food pantry each month.
Or consider a gift of $750, which will provide kosher holiday meals to Jewish residents at Kinneret and Jewish low-income seniors in our community.
Or consider a gift of $350, which will allow us to provide exercise programming to 15 seniors.
For as little as $50, you can help provide monthly transportation for residents to attend local synagogue services and other enriching programs.
Making a donation is simple. Just visit the link below and donate now.
From all the residents of Kinneret, we thank you.
So we've just heard what the need is. We've heard where the money goes. And now here's the short commercial from me for tonight's show. We really, really could use your help. There's never enough to take care of all of the needs. You've heard from Sharon, you've heard from Carol, the importance of your contribution. So now it's time for you to step up. If you have before, it's time to step up again. We really, really need your help. One of the problems with a virtual show like we're having tonight is how do you really do it? It's complicated. You're on a screen, I'm standing here on a screen, nobody knows what the hell to do, so you say to yourself, I want to give, because I know you do, how do I do it? Well, first of all, if you look at the bottom of your screen, if you're watching this on your computer, there's some information where you can just put in your contact information on your computer, and I promise you, Sharon will find you, and she'll talk to you and get your pledge. If you can't do that, just check the website on the screen, which is the Kinneret website, log into them, and you'll see how easy it is to make a donation. This is really kind of the honor system. We're all family. You've seen the wonderful folks that we're serving. You see what the needs are. Hope you're having fun tonight. But the real reason that we're here is to once again enlist your support. If you were kind enough to be a sponsor in the tribute book, that's wonderful. That's the tribute book. You get your name up in lights in the tribute book. But please, please consider increasing whatever that gift might be. And those of you who didn't make the deadline for the tribute book, now is your time. Pick up your computer. Don't pick up your computer, that's silly. I was going to say pick up your phone. No reason to pick up your phone now. Sit down at your computer, plug in the easy way to make a donation, and please, from my heart to you and to all of you, because we are all family, please let's dig in a little bit deeper during this COVID crisis and do what we can to help KCOA. So again, thank you so very much for your time. And excuse me, what is all that noise I'm hearing? I'm sorry. Sharon, while I'm trying to raise a few dollars here, what is all that honking? What is all the noise about?
Hang on, Alan. Let me go check.
Wow, that was special. I guess we should all be screaming from the rooftops in celebration of our wonderful 8 honorees this evening. Let's hear a little bit more about 2 more of this year's 8 over 80 honorees. Next, I'd like to introduce Renee Roberts and Harvey Coburn.
Hi, I'm Renee Roberts, and I was born and raised in the Bronx, which I thought was the greatest place to grow up because I had so many choices of friends and we were very creative in our activities. When I graduated from high school, my father was ill and we had to move to Florida. I had a professor, I graduated in a degree in sociology and psychology, and I had a professor at school I became very friendly with, and he said, "You want to go to graduate school, why don't you go to the Hebrew University?" Never occurred to me till then, so I applied and was accepted into the Hebrew University to get my master's. So anyway, I did go to Israel to go to the Hebrew University. Heard a lot of wonderful stories and had a lot of great adventures and toured the country a lot. But I did get very homesick for my family, and so I came back, and Stan met one of his fraternity brothers, and he said, "Do you know Renee Israel?" He said, "Of course." He said, "Well, we're having a party in Orlando next week. It was Christmas Eve. Bring her." So his friend called me, and I said, I just had a really strong feeling about this. I said, "Yeah, I'll go." We got there, and first went to his house. It was Stan, of course. We went to his house, and when we knocked on the door, and his roommate answered, that wasn't right. But at the far end of the room was Stan. And I thought, oh my gosh, that was it. And it must have been for him too, because we spent the evening at this party together. Then his family, we got engaged in 2 weeks, and we were married 4 weeks later, so it was very, very exciting. So we're married now, going on 59 years next month, which I can't believe it went so fast. And it's been really wonderful, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything. I would have traded him. He's just been a great husband. He's a great father. We have 3 kids and 6 grandchildren. The most important thing that I've ever done to me is work and raise. And it's been very meaningful to me, and I see how it's helped so many kids that were alone, that had no friends, that had no skills, that couldn't work, had no skills to get a job, and how many we've helped and how many I've worked with, and it's just been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I don't know if I'd call tennis a hobby. It's like a vocation in a way, because I love it. It's opened up all kinds of things. I met so many new, wonderful people, new people. You get out in the fresh air and you exercise, and it's challenging, and you're always learning something new. I don't want to tell you how many years I've been playing. I should be on the pro circuit by now, but I had a zest for travel because of my father, who traveled all over Europe to get to this country. And I can't think of a place just about that we haven't gone, except maybe Antarctica. Just be positive, enjoy what you're doing, look for ways to help people and volunteer, and meet a lot of young people to be friendly with. I think if you're lucky enough to find the right person to love, I honestly think that's the biggest thing, not being alone. I don't think we're meant to be alone. And being lucky enough to have kids that have grown up to be honest, wonderful, loving people, having great grandkids, so much. I don't think there's any one answer, except I do think that being in love, having someone to love and love you is probably the best thing of all.
My name is Harvey Coburn. I'm a longtime resident of Orlando. My family moved here when I was 14 years old in 1955. And my dad and mother opened up a building supply business, which remained in the family for almost 60 years before I sold it in 2010. And in 1963, I met a lovely lady by the name of Rochelle, who I married in 1964. And we had 2 sons in Brevard County. Spring Valley, we had a 3rd child, a daughter named Mindy. So that was our young family, and we're doing, establishing ourselves, and it was a wonderful time. Unfortunately, the marriage did not survive. And in 1977, I met a lovely lady
by the name of Nancy. Nancy was a delightful, beautiful person. She had 5 children, and we fell in love, and we got married, and had a blended family of 8 children. And it was a wonderful, exciting, busy time in both our lives. It was a very good marriage. Married for 35 years, when unfortunately Nancy contacted Alzheimer's disease, and it was an 8-year journey before she passed. And I met Faye David, and Faye and I have been together for 10 years now, and also a wonderful relationship. I think the key to happiness is keeping active. I walk 3-4 miles every morning. I like bicycling. I bike 2 or 3 times a week, 8 miles. I play golf 2 or 3 times a week. I like giving back to the community, particularly here in Central Florida. I don't stray too far from that philanthropically. I think the most important lesson is just conduct yourself in such a manner that you're proud. Walk with your head up high. I remember my son Craig asking me, he was probably 13 or 14 years old, and he said, "Dad, you've been pretty successful, haven't you?" And I said, "I think so, Craig." And he said, "How successful are you?" And I know what he was asking. He was asking how much money I had. So I said, "Craig, I'll tell you how successful I've been. I've got 3 and 5, I've got 8 children, and I'm very proud of them. They've all done beautifully." I said, "That to me is my success." I think without question, the most important thing is just raising a good family.
In keeping with the season of the Oscars and the Emmys, the Kinneret gang doesn't want to be outdone. It's my pleasure to proudly introduce for your viewing excitement, the Kinneret Band.
"2020, what a year.
Mr. Families face some fear.
Kinneret is there for me.
Without you, what will we do?"
KCOA stepped up their game. Now our lives aren't feeling so plain.
Wella, wella, wella. Tell me more, oh the pantry was full.
Tell me more, and they took us to show.
Got on Facebook, chatting with friends.
Now we're connected, the fun never ends.
But for TP, we wore out our souls.
Then the staff found us some 2,000 rolls.
Last is done, 21 has begun, but oh, there's more work to be done. Wella, wella, wella.
Tell me more, pen pals kept our spirits alive.
Tell me more, the grocery bags made us thrive. Holiday food that was homemade.
Pesach, Hanukkah, we got it made.
New Year's brisket was so delish.
And the turkey, it's our favorite dish.
Last just done, 21 has begun, but oh, there's much work to be done.
Tell me more, yes, it's okay to brag.
Tell me more, we all got goodie bag.
During lockdown, it was a bore.
We got crosswords, puzzles, and more.
The library was filled with books to the brain.
Would have been better if we got us some gin.
Last year's done, 21 has begun, but oh, there's more work to be done. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tell me more, classes to stretch and to bend.
Tell me more, on whom shall we depend?
Luckily, this is not where it ends. At Kinneret,
We are blessed with good friends. It's time for you to donate now. If it helps, we're telling you how.
2020, dreams ripped at the seams.
But, oh, your help makes it right.
Tell me more.
My God.
Truly amazing. When tickets go on sale for their next worldwide tour, you want to be sure to be first in line. They're going to sell out fast. Wonderful, wonderful job. Thank you, Kinneret team. Let's get back to honoring our 8 special people for the evening. I'd like to next have a special welcome for our honorees, Susan Bierman and Mark Katzen.
Hello, my name is Susan Bierman, and I am younger than you all think I am. I keep trying to tell myself that I'm 29. Let me see. Let me tell you about myself. Let me tell you about my grandparents, because that's where it starts. My grandparents, both sides, came to the United States in the early 1900s. From Lithuania. Both, I'm pure Litvak, but they nevertheless wound up in Duluth, Minnesota, of all places. Who winds up in Duluth, Minnesota, right? The University of Missouri is where I met my husband. I was the first mascot for the football team. It was the first game of the year. And unbeknownst to me, my husband, to-be, was sitting up in the stands with a pair of binoculars. And I had my head off. Not this one, but my big mascot head off, because it was the halftime. And Arnold had the pair of binoculars, and he looked and he saw me. The first thing he said was, "She's short." And the second thing he said was, he says, I have to take him at his word, "She's cute." A week later or so, he called and he came over to my sorority house, and we went out for a cup of cocoa, and we started dating, and we're still here 50-some years later. So we have 3 daughters, my daughters, who are the most wonderful kids in the whole world, and who have given me 7 grandchildren whom I love and adore. My grandchildren are just amazing, and I just get such a kick out of them. There's nothing in the world like grandchildren. I can't imagine what a great-grandchild is going to be like. What keeps me young? Like I said, every once in a while it strikes me that I'm not really 29. And it's really a shock. That's what it's all about. Live life to its fullest. Enjoy what you have. I have certainly been incredibly fortunate. You know, you can't ask for much more than what I've had. Be ready for the next thing. And right now, that's my grandchildren. Yes, yes, that's life.
I'm Mark Katzen. I'll be 81 in February. I moved to Florida 40 years ago from Pennsylvania. I was elected county commissioner when I was 27. I was the youngest county commissioner in the state of Pennsylvania. I was one of 3 outstanding JCs for the state of Pennsylvania. I met Henrietta at my bris. She wasn't born yet, but her mother was pregnant at my bris. And my sister invited her and a couple other girls from camp to my 16th New Year's. And from that we dated pretty constantly. I have 3 sons, Hank, Hal, and Hirsch. Henrietta taking care of me, keeps me young. Marry a woman and then follow her advice. I practice law, mainly municipal law. I also invested in real estate because I had made up my mind when I was at Penn State that I would retire at 35. It worked. I didn't actually move to Florida till I was 40. I got involved in volunteer work. Then it was one thing after another. Involved in the Kiwanis Club, the Lions Club. The thing I'm most proud of is the work that I've done for the Jewish Academy in Orlando. I've supported their computer program and purchased all their Apple computers, and I'm still doing that today. We just put an order in. I would like my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandson to think of me as a productive person. I've always tried to leave a community better off than when I found it. Key to happiness is something that I'm not really bored at any time. I'm always thinking 15 years ahead. Right now I'm thinking about when I'm 96.
A lot has happened in the past year, a lot of good things. I'm sure you're wondering what is happening at Kinneret. So here it is by the numbers. Let's take a look. In 2019, 118 residents visited Kinneret's Food Pantry monthly. 175 residents visited Kinneret's Food Pantry monthly in 2020. "15 residents enjoy exercise classes at least 2 times a week. KCOA delivers holiday meals to low-income members in our community. 50 Passover meals. 50 Rosh Hashanah meals. 200 Thanksgiving meals. 50 Hanukkah meals. 110 residents receive weekly fresh groceries, all with our help. One time a month, there is a social outdoor program. 15 Orlando community partners are helping. Over 300 Kinneret residents and staff were served lunch in thanks to the PAR Foundation. 30 community volunteers and board members serve KCOA and low-income seniors. Over 20 dedicated Kinneret residents volunteer weekly for KCOA. And many more activities and excitement to be continued. The evening is just getting better and better, and we still have a lot more magic up our sleeve for you. But in the meantime, let's honor our last two honorees for this evening's program. Let's give a very warm welcome to Ruth Darvin and to Louis Feinberg.
My name is Ruth Darvin, and I was born in Philadelphia, and I lived there for over 40 years. I met my husband in Philadelphia. He worked for Westinghouse, and we had two children, first a girl, Bev, and a son, Howard. I had never left Philadelphia in my life, so it was really a challenge for me. I didn't know how I would adapt, but it turned out that I loved it here. It took about 2 months, and I wouldn't go back. I used to dance on American Bandstand, and my high school was within walking distance of the television studio. I got interested in art, and I started to take art classes and started to paint. I needed a lot of paintings for my house, and that was the best way to get paintings, the least expensive. My mother had had a stroke, and she needed constant care. My sister-in-law's mother used to visit my parents. They were in the Hebrew Home of Greater Washington. I know how much they loved her visits, and I got an idea. I thought if I could do something like that, get emotional, that it would be wonderful. And I called and said, if you ever want someone to visit, let me know. Kinneret called Arlene and said they had a resident. She said, are you still interested? I said yes. And we asked the staff how many Jewish people did they have there. And they counted, and they said there are 8. We couldn't believe it. So I used to visit one-on-one with each of them, and we became good friends. There's lots of stories I could tell you about the people I visited. Volunteering did more for me than I did for the people. It made me feel so good, and I loved it. My husband died 10 years ago, and I met Mel through friends, mutual friends. We started to see each other more, but I think COVID really was a big reason for us to become closer. I think it's funny to get married at our ages, but romance is still current no matter what your age. The most important lesson I've learned is to really care about people. Just give and you get back more in return.
Good morning. My name is Louis E. Feinberg, Elton. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. Born in Atlanta, Georgia. Went to North Carolina, University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Graduated in 1962. Went to University of Florida Law School. Graduated in 1965. So I met a guy by the name of Gordon Toll, part of the Mighton family. And Gordon says, well, I'm with Reynolds and Company. And I joined them officially October 1st, 1966. and I will be with them 55 years this coming October 1st, 2021. It's been a lot of changes, but it's been a lot of fun. I was president of Temple Israel for 2 years. I was one of the starters of JCC. I was one of the starters of the Top Jewish Foundation. I've been involved with Jewish Family Services, and we have an office named after us there, as well as the Perlman Food Bank, which I'm very fond of. I had a date with the girl I've been dating from law school, and we just happened to meet, and somehow it became a thing, and that thing became a wedding, and then it came from there some kids and a bunch of grandkids, and that's kind of what happened. 6 grandchildren, 9 great-grandchildren. I think that's right. No, I got it backwards probably, but it's close. One way or the other, it's a lot of kids. Cars have always been a thrill of mine from day one. I have a small collection of cars which I've enjoyed for years, primarily in the Jaguar and Ferrari area. And I do most of the maintenance myself. I did most of the restoration myself when I was younger and thinner. Food has been a part of my whole life. I get more calls on food than I do on my profession. I think what keeps me young is the attempt not to die. And I think that working, at least I believe it does, keeps you active both physically and mentally, and therefore gives you a shot at longevity to a certain extent. If you think you're unhappy and you think you're going to die and you think you're old, I guess you will be, and you probably will. I think I'm young. I know I'm not. I'd like my legacy to be a man who took pride in his family, in his community, in his profession. Your name is your word. Your word is your bond. Don't taint either of those. That's the message. It's been a great, thrilling 80 years, hopefully it's coming up in a few weeks, run.
To Ruth, to you, Susan and Mark, Louis, Renee, Harvey, Roz, Barry, I know this is not the kind of a night you were expecting to celebrate your honor. But doing this virtually makes it a little bit more difficult. But the fact that it's virtual makes no difference. There is no Jewish event that could be complete without the honorees receiving some token of appreciation. So here, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Kinneret Council on Aging, is a little token of appreciation to you for the wonderful service that you perform.
We are grateful for
the time you have committed to our community,
your positive outlook on life,
the service you have given to our community's organizations,
for your generosity,
your passion for the Jewish community,
the lessons you pass on to future generations,
your commitment to tzedakah and chesed, charity and kindness.
Each and every one of you, thank you.
Thank you very much. This is awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you for this gift. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So again, thank you to all of our honorees this evening. You have your wonderful gifts. Those of us at home are probably wondering what extravagance the board has gone to honor our people. I'm going to find out myself. We're going to open it up. I'm going to show you what everybody has received. Actually, this is very nice. An award from Kinneret. Again, congratulations to you. And now, a special surprise. In case you haven't noticed, the theme of tonight's music has been from the show Grease. And if you remember Grease, one of the stars was Frenchie. So here she is with a special tribute. Let's welcome Frenchie to our show.
Hello. Hi. Dee Dee Khan here. Old Frenchie from the movie Grease, and I'm here to congratulate the 8 beautiful, wonderful, dedicated volunteers that were honored tonight. And I want to thank all of you for attending, and I also want to thank all the sponsors. So thank you very, very much. And it's a very worthy cause, KCOA. So feel free to go to their homepage to donate, and I hope that we'll see you all next year together again. So happy 2021. Hope this year brings you all lots of joy and health and wonderful, wonderful times together, but most of all, good health. And congratulations again to the wonderful, beautiful, dedicated volunteers.
So that's it. That brings us to the end of our show for this evening. I hope you all enjoyed the celebration of celebrating 8 over 80. I hope it was as much fun for you as it was for the entire team putting it together. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. Thank you for your support. And don't forget, it's not too late to donate. I would normally say, drive carefully on your way home. I know tonight that's not the point. So tonight I'm going to say to you, don't fall over your slippers on the way to your bedroom. Don't fall into the John. Take care of yourself. And good Lord willing, we're going to be here next year when again we celebrate a very special group of 8 over 80. Have a wonderful evening. Kinneret thanks you so very, very much. Wow, that was special. We should all be screaming from the rooftop.
From all the honor.
Octagonians, I know I'm screwing that up. Octagonians, I'll come back and clean that word up later.
Oh man, there's noise. Oh my God. Hang on, let me check. Hang on, let me check.
KAOC. We could help them too.
Hang on, let me check. Is that weird with my arm? I heard the noise. I was like, it's not gonna work anyway. Okay.
I was rounding third base. Okay.
From all the residents.
All right.
We're having a lots of fun. We're having a lots of fun.
You're right.
I don't like that one.
Oh my God.
A wonderful salute for 80 very special people. No. Well, could be 80. No, for 8 people that are over it.
From all the residents of Kinneret. Sharon has officially lost it. Okay.
13th thing. Maybe God is telling me not to do this. Okay.